Hey everybody, I wanted to talk a little bit more today about branding. I heard an incredible amount of feedback from people yesterday when I talked about this, and so many people said that it really hit home, that this is an area where they would like to take their business in this kind of a direction for 2019. I agree with you. If you want to sell more products successfully, the key is not about pushing out more products. In fact, probably one of the areas that might, sorry about that, that might hold you back is having too many SKUs, having too many products. You feel like you're going in too many directions. You're going in multiple different places. So you have to be careful about that and instead really focus your efforts. And we talked about brands and doing some kind of branding. And with that, you need to think about developing a connection with people, because that's how they buy from you. You build a relationship with you, they build trust with you, and they develop some kind of a connection with you. Now, in order for you to do that, you have to figure out, who are you? What does your business represent? What is your brand? What is your brand about? And then who is the subculture that would be interested in this? And start doing all of your marketing efforts towards that specific subculture. And we had gave a few examples of this. So what you are doing is you are building an emotional connection by talking about and showing and demonstrating visually on Pinterest the feeling that you already have, that your products already have, that your buyers want. This is what they're chasing, this is what they're after, and this is what they want. So in order to do that, the best way for your branding is to develop yourself as a lifestyle brand. You want to show that you have a certain lifestyle. And I don't necessarily mean you personally, because we're not talking about personal branding. We're talking about product branding, developing a product line, your company branding. And you want to specialize in a certain area. This is what your subculture is highly, highly interested in. So for example, right now this is what's been going on for a long time with Merch by Amazon, is just putting out a lot of products, just like thousands and thousands of products. Some really sell well, a lot of them don't. In the beginning stages of Merch by Amazon, it was wide open. So of course, yes, a lot of products were going to sell because there just wasn't anything available. Now you're to the point where reality is set in and you need to change directions. You need to do something different if you want to keep selling products. It's no longer that you just put a design out there, put it on a shirt, and someone's going to buy it, because there just isn't any competition. Well, now there's competition. And you need to change directions. You need to do things differently. Okay. Well, when you are doing this, you have to think about a focus, an area that you want to focus in, and evaluate through all of your products and your inventory. What are the ones that are really selling well? What are the ones that I have a lot of knowledge and background in? What is it that I can talk about? What is it that I can demonstrate and show, not just through words, but through pictures? What can I do visually to represent this? Because at this point, times have changed so much that marketing is actually more visual than it is verbal. And that's very important, that you are able to think about, how do I capture things visually? Because those pictures speaks far louder than what words do. And this is why I feel that Pinterest is very, very powerful for you to add into your overall marketing channel. This is one really, really great marketing channel for you, because it is completely visual. And through that, you want to speak through the pin that you put out there to the right kind of people, to the right kind of subculture. and you want to develop your pins in a way to where it is showing the lifestyle that your subculture would love to have. And you're showing that your products and your brand already has this lifestyle. And if you buy our products, you can have this lifestyle too. I hope that makes a little bit more sense and is a little bit more understandable for you in that way. So you want to align yourself with the people and what is it that they're looking for? What kind of lifestyle do they want to live? What feelings and emotions do they want to have? Because that's what's really going to help sell your products the best. So when you're talking about a lifestyle brand or a specialty brand, you want to specialize your products to be for a specific subculture. You know, eventually you could have multiple subcultures if you want within one brand, but I would start with just one type of subculture first. So here's an example of a brand with a very specific subculture. This brand is called Rod and Gun, and they are in New Zealand. And they show this, their subculture is New Zealand because that's where they are located. And they have visual representations of New Zealand, picturesque settings. Everything is very visual. It looks beautiful. It's peaceful. Their products show the best qualities of New Zealand and maybe the lifestyle that people would like to have and that kind of emotions that you can have. This is what they represent in their products, and they represent it through their marketing even better. And they do this very visually. So that is a type of lifestyle brand that you could study a little bit closer and think about, oh, this is really cool. So how can I do the same thing visually with my subculture? But you got to figure out, what is your subculture first? You know, who are you? What subculture do you want to zero in on? You've got to have some kind of focus. Otherwise, you're going to be doing more of the same thing that's been happening, which isn't going to get you any further. So you've got to get some kind of focus and be able to zero in on this. Barbour, Barbour is another one for British outerwear. This is a good one, an example of how they have multiple subcultures. There's a larger subculture base of outerwear. People, especially men, who like to be outdoors. But they aren't trying to do everything. They're not trying to do it all. They're very specific about their outdoors wear. So they will zero in on maybe the motorcycle riding and create products that is this lifestyle of, we love to ride our motorcycles out in the country, and have pictures of motorcycle riding out in the country, pictures of their products being worn by people with this kind of lifestyle. And because of that, it's evoking these certain feelings of freedom, the feelings of enjoyment, of happiness. And they're taking their products and slipping it into these visual representations of a lifestyle and the feelings that their buyers want to have. That's how you sell products. And I will guarantee that your competition is not doing this. So this is how you can outsell your competition, is by understanding why branding is important, understanding that it's lifestyle branding that you're going after, deciding, who am I? What do I want to focus on? So take your top 10 best-selling items, or maybe it's your top 5. What do they all have in common? Pick one niche area, if you will, or I think maybe a better way of saying it is a subculture, because it's not really about the product as much as it is about the people buying the product. You got to put your attention on the buyer and think like a buyer rather than on the product. So in e-commerce, everything is all about product, product, product. I think you need to change your thinking and your mindset a little bit, and you need to be thinking buyer, buyer, buyer. Who is the people who are buying these products? What is it about them that they want? What are the feelings that they want? What are the lifestyle that they would like to have? What activities do they do? Where do they go shopping? What kinds of things are their activities? If you zero in on your audience, then you know how to create more products that that audience wants. So now is your time to really focus in. And you have to do this before you start your marketing offsite of Amazon. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of doing the same, and it will feel very random to you. It'll feel like all you're doing is creating a lot of pins for a lot of different types of products. You might be kind of throwing the spaghetti against the wall for a while, but at some point after you throw that spaghetti and you decide, you know, who do I want to be? You really need to move into branding and think about the subculture, who is your audience, so that you can build that audience more effectively. So you got to niche it down, and then you only start creating products specifically for that subculture. And when you have your audience built up who can connect with you emotionally because you are presenting things that really resonates with them, it will not be very difficult for you to put a product in front of them that you know they can connect with emotionally, that they can identify with, that represents the feelings they want to have and the lifestyle they want to have. You put that product in front of them and they will buy. That's how simple it is. It's as easy as that. And you can show that visually through the pins that you are creating in your marketing efforts. So the first step is figure out who you are, who is your audience, your subculture. Do a lot of your research, learn as much as you can about your subculture. If you live that lifestyle yourself, and this is your subculture that you identify with personally, it'll be a lot easier for you. It'll be so much easier for you because you already know. You don't have to do quite as much in-depth research about your subculture because you are a part of that subculture now. It will not be nearly as difficult for you. So maybe that would be a great starting point for you, is say, what is my identity? You know, who am I? What subcultures am I a part of? And then you know that subculture so well, it's a lot easier then for you to figure out more about that audience and create more of the types of products that they want. And build your audience up. Pinterest is a fantastic channel to use to capture that audience, to build that audience up. They will begin to really feel a connection with you. And then all you have to do is put your products out in front of them and boom, they will start buying. So some questions that I've heard was, I've been getting all of these followers because I started changing what I was doing. I've been doing more keywording, keyword research, all of that to capture the right kind of audience. And I'm getting more and more followers, and those followers just keep building up, but are they ever going to buy? Well, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question because it depends on who your followers are. What kind of followers are they? Are they a lot of random people, or is it your subculture that is following you? If you are doing your marketing very targeted, you will have the right kind of subculture who is genuinely interested in your product start following you, and they will become your buyers. You will have to warm them up over time and allow them to get to know you. So this is not something that's going to happen in a matter of a week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks. And a lot of people get very, very impatient. It happens gradually over time. Okay, so you cannot say, go out there to your subculture and say, here's my product, buy it. Why should they buy it? Why should they buy from you? They don't even know who you are. You're a complete stranger. So you need to develop this brand by putting out a lot of great material. That material can be visually through pins of pictures of the lifestyle that people want to have in this subculture. It could be quote pins, it could be humor pins, it could be pins that are more of imagery and visual. If you are writing blog posts, it could be articles about how to do something or 10 tips for doing this. In other words, anything that your subculture can relate to easily. And the more value that you provide for them, the more trust that they build with you. They're able to connect with you easier, and then they will begin to buy from you. So this is the beginning stages of creating a customer base, an audience. And then your next step is to create that funnel where they walk through your awesome, amazing stuff that you're putting out there and you're giving it away for free. And you keep moving them through that funnel. They might buy something that is a low dollar amount item. If they really love it, then they will buy another one. They will buy something that is a high dollar amount, and then pretty soon they'll even do more. And you kind of walk them through that process. But first you have to figure out, who am I? What am I about? Who is my culture? Who is my subculture? Another type of specialty brand or lifestyle brand is Bailey of Hollywood. You can take a look at their hats. This is a company that has a subculture in LA of Hollywood lifestyle. So it really resonates with people who just love the look, that kind of look and that lifestyle and everything that it represents. And you can take a look at their hats to see what they look like and study it and study their marketing. What are they doing? How are they able to capture this subculture? Notice their prices. Their prices are very high prices. Be prepared to spend $120 for one hat. How can they charge that high of a price for a simple hat? Because they have the subculture. Their branding is what sells the product. It's not the product itself, it's their branding. It's who they represent, and it's what their subculture that they have developed as their audience, what resonates with them through everything that they provide for that subculture. In other words, they are nurturing that audience really, really well. So that's another one to take a look at. Okay. Now there's different kinds of brands out there, especially in the fashion industry. There's the low-end brands. I'll give you examples of these low-end brands or the fast food, variety type of brands. This is going to be like the Walmart, the Target, the Gap, the H&M, the American Apparel, the Old Navy. A lot of them have to charge lower prices because there are associations or feelings with that, which is I can buy stuff there for cheap, right? Is that the kind of brand that you want to reflect? Is that who you want to be? For most people, they're going to say no because they would like to charge a little bit more for their products and not have to work quite so hard. Okay. The mid-range brand is going to be more of the department store variety or type. So we're talking Nautica, Dockers, Hugo Boss, Tommy Hilfiger. So we've got to step up now. This is a step up from the low-end fast food variety type of brand. Okay. But they're still not really highly targeted as far as audience, or else their audience is, they have a little bit higher expectation now. Okay. What you really want to get into is a more focused, niche down, specialty type brand or a lifestyle brand where you sell things according to evoking a certain emotion that people want to have. They see something, that you are displaying in your marketing that they want. If you watch people on Instagram, they do this really well on Instagram. A lot of business owners do. And then you can see this also through Pinterest. And then if you connect the two together and you do your Instagram stuff on Pinterest, I've been noticing that working really, really well lately. And part of that is this new option to connect your Pinterest account with Instagram. That has been working phenomenally well. I've been really surprised at how well the Instagram photos are taking off in Pinterest. And a lot of those types of pins start taking off a little bit quicker and faster, which is really interesting to me. And then we have the high-end luxury brands like the Versace and the Prada and the Armani, things like that. There are some newer type of brands that is kind of like a luxury brand, but they're making it more affordable, and that would be Michael Kors. Okay, so you want to lean more towards a specialty that is a lifestyle, and even the high-end luxury brands is reflecting a lifestyle. They are a reflection of this luxury lifestyle, this upper class lifestyle, and if that is the type of area that you want to move into where you can then ask for higher prices, there is a great subculture out there for you to tap into. You start creating things that might resonate with that subculture of this luxury living lifestyle, and everything that you pin is showing the visual imagery of what that represents. How does that subculture live, or how do they want to live? How do they want to feel? How do they want to act? What is it that they would like to have? Now, you don't have to do that in order to be successful. You could say, well, I want to tap into the subculture of confident women. I want to help develop women who are confident. So you might have some t-shirts or products with phrases about confidence. And you can then have your t-shirts, you could use lifestyle pins that are of women who are wearing them, and they are showing themselves as being highly confident. They could even be in highly paid careers. It could be highly confident women who run businesses from home. It could be highly confident women who are moms, stay-at-home moms. There's multiple different angles and ways in order to tap into that subculture. And now what you're doing is you're niching down that subculture, and you're kind of creating micro subcultures. You've got the career women, you've got the successful at-home business women, you've got the stay-at-home moms. They all are going to want confidence. And what can you do to tap into each of those micro subcultures through your marketing efforts? And that's where you can niche down into your boards. So you would want to have a board created for the stay-at-home moms who are wanting the feeling of confidence. And how can I obtain that? And they feel so passionate about that they're willing to wear a t-shirt. You know, they're willing to buy products as reminders to themselves every day of this type of lifestyle, this feeling that they want to have. And then you would have, you know, another board or several boards that resonates with that micro subculture of career corporate women. Then have several boards that is for that micro subculture of successful online business owners. You know, there's many different directions that you can obtain, and what you're looking at is the feeling, the emotion, and how they can connect with you in all of those micro subcultures, and that would be confidence is what they're after. So I hope this helps you to understand how you can connect more with people, because you really have to do that first in order for your products to sell. When you start putting your marketing efforts in this way, and so what you're doing is you just stop with saying, here's my t-shirts, here's my stuff, go buy it. Okay, who cares, right? It's just another t-shirt. They've seen thousands of them. But when you show pins of this lifestyle, this continuity of things that really resonates with them, then they are going to pay attention. They're going to start following you. They're going to start watching what you're doing. And when you put those products in front of them, it speaks to them. And when something speaks to you, you're probably going to buy it, right? You want it in your life. You want to obtain it somehow in your life. You're going to buy it. It's something that you would like to have in your wardrobe, something that you'd like to have at home. It's solving a problem, and products that solve problems definitely sell, whatever problem that could be, okay? If there's any questions to help you with this a little bit further, definitely drop them in now. Otherwise, I'll let you go for today. But I'm hoping that this helps give you some direction for how you want to start marketing your products. I think the days of throwing up 100 different designs and let's see what's going to work and what's not working, that's probably coming to an end. And now you need to have more focus and more direction in your business. And think about developing a brand, at least one, with a culture, with a subculture, and provide products, nurture that audience. So you have to attract that audience through your marketing efforts, nurture them, and then when you put the products in front of them, they become your loyal shoppers and their loyal buyers because they can truly identify with you, with your brand. They can feel as though this is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay? All right, I'll let you go for today. Have a great rest of your day.